In the shadowed alleys of Victorian London, a ghostly figure lurked, leaving behind a trail of terror and bloodshed that has haunted the collective memory for over a century. Jack the Ripper, the unidentified murderer who stalked the streets of Whitechapel in 1888, remains one of history's most infamous and mysterious figures. His crimes, shocking in their brutality, have inspired countless theories, books, and films. But who was Jack the Ripper? What drove him to commit such heinous acts? And why has his identity remained a mystery despite relentless investigation? The name, Jack the Ripper, evokes an unsettling mix of fear, fascination, and frustration. He has become more than just a historical figure. He is a cultural icon of unsolved mysteries and human darkness. For over a century, his story has been retold, reimagined, and researched, yet the truth eludes us. What we do know paints a chilling picture of a city under siege, a police force struggling to adapt, and a murderer who operated with terrifying precision. The story of Jack the Ripper is not just about the victims or the brutality of his crimes. It's about a moment in history. It's about the stark realities of life in Victorian London, a time when the city was grappling with rapid industrialization, poverty, and inequality. The Ripper's crimes revealed the vulnerabilities of both the society and the fledgling police force tasked with protecting it. His actions, shrouded in darkness and secrecy, remind us that history is often as much about what we don't know as what we do. Welcome to History Facts and Mysteries, where today we'll dive into the chilling tale of Jack the Ripper. From the grisly details of his murders to the hunt for his true identity, we'll unravel the threads of this enduring enigma. If you're intrigued by historical mysteries, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications for more captivating stories from the past. 1. Together, we'll explore the questions that history leaves unanswered and keep the quest for truth alive. 2. The Whitechapel Murders. 3. In the late 19th century, London's East End was a cauldron of poverty, overcrowding, and despair. 4. The area of Whitechapel, in particular, was notorious for its dark alleys, dimly lit streets, and high crime rate. 5. Amid this backdrop of squalor, Jack the Ripper began his reign of terror. Between August and November 1888, 5 women, Mary Ann Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Jane Kelly, were brutally murdered. Known as the Canonical Five, their deaths were linked by their gruesome nature. 1. The killer displayed surgical precision, leading many to believe he had medical or anatomical knowledge. 2. The murders sent shockwaves through London. 3. The press sensationalized the killings, and the public was gripped with fear. 4. Letters purportedly from the killer began to surface, with one signed, Jack the Ripper, solidifying the name that would become synonymous with terror. The victims. Lives lost in shadows. While Jack the Ripper's crimes are infamous, it's important to remember the humanity of his victims. Each of the women had a story, a life shaped by the harsh realities of Victorian society. Mary Ann Nichols, known as Polly, was a 43-year-old mother of 5 struggling with homelessness and alcoholism. She was found dead on August 31, 1888, her throat slashed and her abdomen mutilated. Annie Chapman, also in her 40s, had faced personal tragedy, including the loss of her husband and children. Her body was discovered on September 8, with similar horrific injuries. Elizabeth Stride, a Swedish immigrant, was killed on September 30. Unlike the other victims, her body showed no signs of mutilation, leading some to believe the killer was interrupting. Catherine Eddowes, found just hours after Stride, suffered devastating injuries, including facial disfigurement and organ removal. Mary Jane Kelly, the youngest and most vividly remembered victim, was killed in her own room on November 9. Her murder was the most brutal, with her body virtually unrecognizable. Suspects and theories. The question of Jack the Ripper's identity has baffled investigators and historians for over 130 years. A wide range of suspects has been proposed, each with their own compelling narrative. Montague John Druitt, a barrister and teacher, was believed by some to have committed the murders before taking his own life in late 1888. Aaron Kosminski, a Polish barber, was a contemporary suspect identified by police. Modern DNA evidence has been cited as supporting his involvement. though the findings are hotly debated. Walter Sickert, a famous painter, has been accused based on his artwork and letters, though many historians dismiss this theory as speculative. Prince Albert Victor, grandson of Queen Victoria, has also been implicated in conspiracy theories tying the murders to the British royal family. Other theories suggest the Ripper was a midwife, a doctor, or even multiple individuals acting together. Despite extensive investigation, no definitive proof has ever surfaced to conclusively identify the killer. Impact on Victorian society. The Ripper murders exposed the harsh realities of life in Whitechapel and brought attention to the plight of the poor. The media frenzy surrounding the case highlighted the sensationalism of Victorian journalism and its ability to shape public opinion. The case also influenced modern criminology. Jack the Ripper is often considered the first serial killer, in the sense we understand today, and his crimes spurred advancements in forensic science and criminal profiling. Cultural legacy. Jack the Ripper has become an enduring figure in popular culture. His story has inspired countless novels, films, and television series, often blending fact and fiction. From the graphic details of his crimes to the mystery of his identity, the Ripper continues to fascinate and horrify audiences worldwide. The Whitechapel area has even embraced the macabre legacy, with Ripper tours and museums drawing tourists seeking to walk in the footsteps of history. However, this commercialization is not without controversy, as it risks overshadowing the human tragedy of the victims. Unanswered questions. The Ripper case leaves us with more questions than answers. Why did the murders stop? Was he caught, or did he die? How did he evade detection in an era when the streets were teeming with people and police? Even with modern technology and renewed interest, the mystery remains unsolved. This lack of closure has only deepened the case's allure, inviting endless speculation and debate. The Ripper's name is etched into history not just as a symbol of horror but as a reminder of the mysteries that remain in our past. His crimes brought to light the struggles of a society grappling with inequality and fear, while his identity continues to evade even the sharpest investigative minds. The story of Jack the Ripper is about more than just the murders. The lack of resolution has made the case a canvas for speculation, theories, and creativity, each generation adding its own interpretation to the legend. As we reflect on the chilling legacy of Jack the Ripper, we are reminded of the fragile line between history and mystery. It also highlights the relentless human drive to seek answers, to solve puzzles, and to make sense of the darkness. Thank you for joining us on this chilling exploration into one of history's most infamous unsolved cases. Jack the Ripper reminds us that history is not always a series of clear-cut answers but often a collection of puzzles waiting to be pieced together. If you're captivated by mysteries like this, subscribe to History Facts and Mysteries for more dives into the stories that have shaped our world. Together, we'll explore the shadows of the past and seek the light of understanding.